Hello again, everybody. This is John and Glenn from BestPriceNutrition.com. Today we're going to review Jacked or Jack3d. I'm really not sure how to pronounce it, to be honest with you. I mean, if you read the label, it says Jack3d, but a lot of people refer to it as Jacked. So we're just going to call it Jacked for the rest of this video, just for simplicity. We've spoken about this particular product in a few other videos that we've done just because we've covered pre-workouts and we kind of discussed kind of the genesis of pre-workouts and where they've come and kind of how Jacked has started the new rave, which is the smaller, more concentrated pre-workouts where you get less ingredients but more of said ingredients in the product, and they tend to pack a little bit more punch instead of in terms of stems. You want to cover a little bit about Jack? Kind of give us an overview?
Yeah, basically breakdown of the ingredients. Like John was saying, it is heavily stimulant. There's a lot of stimulants inside of it. But to start off, there's arginine alpha-ketoglutarate, which is a source of arginine. It's in there for the pump effect. A lot of these products are so full of stimulants, though, that you're not going to get much of that pump because you're going to be so, excuse the term, you're going to be so jacked up, I guess. So the arginine's in there for the pump, and then you've got creatine monohydrate. With the first two ingredients, though, this is a proprietary blend, so we don't know how much of each one you're getting. So we've got arginine, we've got creatine, and then comes beta-alanine. Beta-alanine in there for the reduced lactic acid effect, allowing you to work out longer, get that last few reps. Also, your last set or your last exercise in that of the day, you'll also still be strong, have some energy left.
Kind of like how I like to say with beta-alanine is it's an ingredient that sometimes we often think, oh, I'll take it and I'll be able to do more reps because I'm not going to produce too much lactic acid, but it doesn't just work within a set like Glenn was referring to. It works within your entire workout because lactic acid accumulates throughout your workout. That's one of the reasons why you can only work out so intense for so long, amongst other things. There's some other rate-limiting factors. That's one of them. But you touched on something. It is basically a 4,145 milligram or 4.15, give or take gram serving size, and there's only 6 ingredients. So even though it is a proprietary blend, you're going to have to get a heavy dosage of things in here, one way or the other, because there's only 6 ingredients, which is nice, because I think there's a few products out there, like, what's it, Nanovapor?
Nanovapor's got
80
30
ingredients in it?
I think it was somewhere like 32 to 36, somewhere around that, which is a lot.
I thought 80.
In a 20 gram, it might even have 80. In a 20 gram dosage, how much can you really be getting of each ingredient? So they're sort of pixie dusting it with all these different ingredients.
Well, real quick, we touched on some of the ingredients. Let's go ahead and go through the rest of the ingredients and some of their effects. We already touched on beta-alanine, arginine, alpha-ketoglutarate, and we've talked about that before, but let's give a quick rundown on that.
It's basically arginine bonded to an alpha-ketoglutarate molecule, or what they call AKG. It's just there to help with the absorption of the arginine. That's why they add that to it. Because straight arginine by itself, if you take it, studies have been showing that it's good for growth hormone production, but it actually is in and out of your system pretty quickly. So that's why they add this alpha-ketoglutarate to sort of slow down the absorption or extend the half-life of the ingredient. And then creatine monohydrate is the most studied source of creatine or form of creatine. It's one we always recommend just because it's cost-effective and it works. And to go on to the next ingredient, caffeine is in here, just your straight caffeine. Next you've got the 1,3-dimethylamylamine, which is also called geranium, or 1,3-DMAA, or 1,3 is another way to call it. That is a stimulant. It's in a lot of different products right now as a stimulant. A lot of people claim it can cause a crash, which it can after you take this product. A couple hours later you may get tired from it. That's a downfall of that ingredient. The last one is called Schizandrol A. There's not much research on humans with this product, with this ingredient. USPLabs is claiming that it increases your mental output or work done mentally, or mental work as they call it. There's really not much to back that up. It is a stimulant. A lot of the research done on it, though, is showing that it's good. It's a liver protectant, and it's also an anti-inflammatory, which is nice. But I think they're putting it in here because it does have some stimulating qualities.
Well, and you touched on something. One of the report effects is that people do really like this product. One, for the stimulant effect. They also do feel more mental focus, and whether that's due to the geranium or the ingredient, the Schizandra ingredient, we're not sure. So I guess when we say we're not sure, that's kind of why. There's a lot more data out there on geranium at this point, so we can confidently tell you that's what you're going to feel. As we did run through the ingredients, there is creatine in here. We don't know exactly how much. I mean, typically when I recommend creatine monohydrate to people, I tell them at least 5 grams, per day. So I would probably take creatine on top of this, and it's a pretty cheap ingredient, so it's certainly fine to take on top of this, and it's not going to you're not going to break the bank to have to take it. I do see they use the patented form of beta-alanine, the carnosine, which is I guess a good thing. I'm not sure how the efficacy of the other forms of beta-alanine that are out on the market. But the bottom line is this is the product that kind of changed the way we look at pre-workouts. Initially, we had our USPLabs and Super Pump 250s, and we still have those. And there's nothing wrong with those. It's just that this has really brought on a whole new wave of pre-workouts. We covered in another video. We've got 1MR that's come out from BPI, Omega Sports Flash Over. A lot of them taking that same approach, kind of the less is more effect. One of the other questions we had is people with side effects and warnings with this product. The one thing I'll say is I'm somebody who's pretty sensitive to stimulants, and this product kicks pretty hard. So if you are going to try it, and you know yourself to be somebody who's pretty sensitive to stimulants, do half the serving. I mean, what's the worst thing that happens? You don't feel it for your workout. And the other thing that Glenn had touched on is just down regulation. You want to be careful with that. So pretty much the way I recommend with any of these pre-workouts is to take them, maybe just 3-4 days a week to kind of keep your adrenal glands guessing, so you don't have that effect where you've got to keep taking more and more to feel the stimulant effect from it. So that's kind of how I recommend it. And then, if you do still want the good effects from creatine and beta-alanine, you'd have to buy that separately and take those on a daily basis to maintain those, because your dosages are going to need to be kept up in order to get the full effects from those ingredients. Another question we've had is what can people stack it with?
You could stack it with most products. I mean, obviously not another pre-workout, because this will do that job. Some people ask, because another popular product by USPLabs is the OxyLead Pro. You can stack the two, but you don't want to take them within 4 hours of each other because of the stimulants. Both contain stimulants, and you don't want to go too high with that. You can take, protein powder, obviously, beta-alanine, creatine. You can definitely take with that. But anything that contains a stimulant, you don't want to take with this, because there's already enough inside here.
Yeah, definitely. That's for sure. And even if you're somebody who is used to stimulants and you take this product, we've had people say, "Whoa,
it's very potent."
Yeah, so just start with a little bit lower of dosage. If you want to make sure you feel it that day, maybe take half a scoop an hour before. Half an hour later, you should kind of know how you feel. So if you feel like you can take a little more, then do that, and then go to your workout. Taking it an hour before versus a half an hour is really not going to make any difference. And one last thing too on that, as far as the ingredients, there's not a ton of magnesium in this product, which was one of the criticisms of the original nitric oxide pre-workout products, because a lot of people would have problems where they'd be going to the bathroom. Well, really that's because of the magnesium. Magnesium can have a laxative effect, and it takes a little bit of time for your body to get used to it. So when people would initially take some of those products, they would have some digestive discomfort. So.
Diarrhea almost.
Yeah, so.
And it was an issue of very high doses of magnesium, and a lot of companies have recognized that and taken that.
And they put it in there for a good reason, because magnesium helps with ATP production. It's just, I don't think that all of the other effects were considered. So most of them, like Glenn says, is reformulated. Another question people ask, would any of this come up on a drug test?
It will. Actually, the ingredient, the geranium that's in here, is banned by the World Anti-Doping Agency, and I do believe it's also banned by the NCAA now. So it's an issue of if you're a college athlete, or an Olympic athlete, or somebody who can get drug tested for the specific amphetamines and things like that, then don't take it.
That, or check with your trainer. Make sure you get it cleared before you do that. Don't get yourself suspended because you took something and it's just not worth it. There's other products you could take that will be less that ingredient. So that's when we run it. Another question has been for women. Can women take this product? Absolutely. I mean, we did that great video. Well, we think it's great on bodybuilding supplements for women. There's nothing gender specific about this product. Again, same thing. If your body weight for most females is going to be less than a male, so you would just scale your dosage down. Again, start with less, and you could always build up to more. And I think that pretty much covers everything as far as questions that we've gotten regarding this product. Again, this is a huge seller. I mean, it's the top-selling product, I'd say, for the last, year and a half in the industry. Am I mistaken by saying that?
Yeah, it's taken over for everything else that was up there. It's very, very popular.
So a lot of people like it. If you like it and you've tried it, by all means, stick with it. I would just say that, another question we do get while I'm thinking about it is, how long can I take this product for? Again, it really depends. If you're using it every day, then I'd recommend don't go beyond maybe 2 months at the most, and then give yourself at least that much time off, or at least half that time off, like 30 days off, because you don't want your body to get too adapted to the stimulants in here, because your adrenal glands will get downregulated on it. It's like drinking coffee. You start with 1 cup, you get a super buzz, and before you know it, you need 2
You're
and 3.
drinking a pot of coffee and
Exactly. So just to kind of avoid that effect, keep your body guessing. If you're doing it that way, where you are taking it maybe just 3 days a week, even twice, then you can get your body guessing more so you can take it for a longer period of time. And if you do go on and off of things that do have caffeine, one thing to consider is just to take maybe some green tea or something during that time off so you don't get the caffeine headaches. That's the one thing. You don't want to get the withdrawal because you're dealing with blood flow to your brain, and that's where the headaches come into play. But that pretty much wraps it up. So if you guys have any other questions on this product, please go ahead and post them, and we will answer them. Thank you.